Everyone, good morning. Now let's start with examples on parallelogram law of forces. In previous lecture we have understand about the parallelogram law of forces and we derived two equations from the parallelogram. First one is magnitude of resultant force, that is R is equal to under root of p square plus q square plus 2 pq cos theta, and second one, that is direction of that resultant force, is equal to alpha, and equation is alpha is equal to tan inverse in the bracket q sin theta upon p plus q cos theta bracket over. So from that two equation we are going to calculate the resultant force and direction of that resultant force. Before the calculation we must have to remember the things regarding this parallelogram, and that is, first we have to always take in mind that both the forces in the parallelogram must be tensile. Number 2, the direction of the resultant force is always with the bigger force. And number 3, that is, we are always considering the bigger force as a P force. From these three thumb rule, we can calculate the resultant and its direction with the help of parallelogram law of forces. Now, the first example, that is two tensile forces 50 kilonewton and 40 kilonewton acting at a point with angle 60° between them. Find magnitude and direction of the resultant force. So here we have two forces. We are always considering that bigger force as a P force. So P is equal to 50 kilonewton and smaller force, that is Q, is equal to 40 kilonewton. The angle between them is 60° and both the forces are tensile force. So theta is equal to 60°. We have to find out, that is, magnitude and direction of the resultant force, that is R and alpha. So we have equation for this magnitude of resultant. R is equal to under root of p square plus q square plus 2 pq cos theta. Now put the value in this equation. So we will get R is equal to under root of 6100. So R is equal to 78.10 kilonewton. Now number 2, what we have to find out here? Alpha, and the equation for the alpha, that is tan inverse q sin theta upon p plus q cos theta. Now alpha is equal to tan inverse 40 sin 60° upon 50 plus 40 cos 60°. Now after calculating this, we will get alpha is equal to tan inverse 34.64 upon 70. So alpha is equal to tan inverse 0.495. So we will get alpha is equal to 26.33°. This alpha is always with the horizontal force, and that is our bigger force. Now number 2, determine the resultant of two concurrent forces 100 kilonewton compressive. So 100 kilonewton is compressive acting on this point, and 80 kilonewton tensile acting at a point and angle between them is 60°. So from here to 60°, our second force, tensile force, that is Q, 80 kilonewton. Why this is Q is 80? Because it is smaller force and bigger force is P, that is 100 kilonewton. But our criteria that both the forces must be tensile. So here we have to convert this force in tensile force. So from here, this is our origin. P force is tensile and Q force is again tensile. So these two tensile force P and Q and angle between them, that is theta. So it is 120 degree. Now what we have to find out? Resultant force and magnitude of resultant and its direction, right? So here we have data P is equal to 100 kilonewton, Q is equal to 80 kilonewton and theta is equal to 120 degree. Now R and alpha that we have to find out, and we have equation for that. So first R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos theta. Put the value in this equation. So we will get R is equal to under root of 8400. So R is equal to 91.65 kilonewton. Now alpha is equal to tan inverse Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. We have Q, we have P and we have theta. So put the value, we will get alpha is equal to tan inverse 1.154. So alpha is equal to 49.10 degree with the bigger force. Now again what we have to find out? Angle between R and Q. So angle of R with Q, that is 120 degree minus 49.10, that is 70.90 degree. Dear student, you always, whenever you are going to calculate these examples in your calci, you must have to remember that your calci is functioning in degree only. Otherwise, your all the answer must be wrong. Now, third one, two tensile forces 100 kilonewton and Q kilonewton acting at a point at an angle 90 degree between them. So here Q is unknown, P is given and angle between these two forces, that is 90 degree. So it is exactly at right angle. If the resultant force is 200 kilonewton, which is over here, find the value of this Q. We have to find out this unknown force Q. Also find the angle made by resultant with the 100 kilonewton force, that is direction of this resultant force. So here we have total 5 data. In 5 there are 2 unknown is always. So we have 2 equation and 2 unknown, we will get the unknowns. So here P is equal to 100 kilonewton, Q is unknown, R is equal to 200 kilonewton, theta is equal to 90 degree and alpha, that is unknown. So we have equation for the alpha, R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos theta. Put the value, R is equal to 200, P is equal to 100 square plus Q square plus 2 into 100 into Q into cos 90. Now cos 90 is equal to 0. So we will get 200 is equal to under root of 100 square plus Q square. Now 200 square is equal to 100 square plus Q square. So we will get Q from this equation, that is 173.20 kilonewton. Now we have P, Q and theta. So we will get the direction, that is alpha is equal to tan inverse Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. Put all the value in this equation. So we will get alpha is equal to tan inverse 1.73. So alpha is equal to 60 degree with a 100 kilonewton force. Clear everybody? Good. Now the next example, that is two tensile forces acting at an angle 120 degree between them. The bigger force is 40 kilonewton, The resultant is perpendicular to the smaller force. Find the smaller force and the resultant force. Read the question carefully. Here two tensile force, that is P and Q. The bigger force is 40 kilonewton and resultant is perpendicular to the smaller force. So here it is 90. Right? Angle between two forces, that is 120 degree. So we will get alpha, that is 30 degree. What is alpha? Is the direction of resultant with respect to P. Now we have the alpha, we have theta, we have P. Again we have two unknown Q and R. We have two equations and we have two unknowns over here. So we will get what we will get from the equation, tan alpha is equal to Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. So tan 30 is equal to Q sin theta upon P is equal to 40. So here unknown there is Q. So whenever we are going to put all the value and we will get the unknown Q from this equation, and that is 20 kilonewton. How it will get? We have the value of tan 30, we have sin 120, we have cos 120 and value of P. So put the value and we will get the answer of Q from this equation of alpha. Now we have Q. So from the equation of magnitude of resultant R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos theta, we will get resultant force, that is 34.64 kilonewton. Clear? Okay, good. Now the next one is very interesting example, and that is find the magnitude of two forces such that if they act at right angle, their resultant is under root of 40. Read carefully. Two forces acting at right angle means when theta is 90 degree, then resultant is under root of 40 kilonewton. And but if they act at 60 degree, their resultant is under root of 50 kilonewton. So here we have two cases. In first case, the angle between two forces is 90 degree, and in second case, the angle between two forces, that is 60 degree. And in first case, R is equal to under root of 40. So R square is equal to 40 kilonewton, and in second case, R is equal to under root of 52. So R square is equal to 52 kilonewton. Now we have equation of R, because here only the data of theta and R. So we must have to use equation of that R. So R square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos theta. Now for the case 1, theta is equal to 90 degree, put the value of theta in this equation and R. So we will get 40 is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos 90, but cos 90 is equal to 0. So P square plus Q square is equal to 40, that is equation number 1. But when put the theta is equal to 60 degree, then equation we will get 52 is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ cos 60, but P square plus Q square is equal to 40, that we have just derived. So put that value in equation. So we will get PQ is equal to 12. Now we have two equation and we have two unknown. So from these two equation we will get two unknown P and Q. How? Then we are going to use mathematical concept. So first, P plus Q whole square is equal to P square plus Q square plus 2 PQ. So we have value of P square plus Q square and we have value of PQ. So put the value in this equation. So we will get P plus Q is equal to under root of 64. So P plus Q is equal to 8. Now the same equation, but here the sign is minus. P minus Q whole square, that is P square plus Q square minus 2PQ. Put the value, we will get P minus Q is equal to under root of 16. So P minus Q is equal to 4. Now we have equation number 3 and equation number 4. From these two equations, we will get our unknown P and Q. So P plus Q is equal to 8 and P minus Q is equal to 4. So we will get 2P is equal to 12 and P is equal to 6. Now put the value of this P in any two equation, equation number 3 and equation number 4. So we will get Q is equal to 2 kilonewton. This is the simple method, but whenever we are going to use our conventional method, in that case we will get the value in two form, plus or minus, but by using this formula we will get exact answer of that. Clear? Good. Now the next one is very much important. Here this is a realistic problem. This is a component of truss member that we are using in a railway station and any number of steel structure that we have seen. It is a two member, that two member is connected with this gusset plate and it is making a concurrent forces. So what exactly here? Determine the magnitude and direction of the resultant of the two forces shown in the figure below. Here A is our common joint. From this is the CG of this member and 20 kilonewton tensile force is here, and for this member 50 kilonewton compressive force is here. Angle between these two forces, that is 45 degree and 30 degree. So we are going to convert it into a shape of parallelogram. So what exactly we will get? This is our 20 is P and Q is equal to 50 kilonewton. Just considering this force in the direction of tensile. So we will get this kind of shape. Now angle here, that is 45. So it is 45, it is 60, it is 30. Now we will get the data from this. P is equal to 20 kilonewton, Q is equal to 50 kilonewton and theta is equal to 105 degree. Now we have to find out R and alpha. So we will calculate with the help of our two equations. But before that we have to understand this figure carefully, then we can apply it in the form of parallelogram. So we have this data, put that data. R is equal to under root of P square plus Q square plus 2PQ cos theta. So R is equal to under root of 20 square plus 50 square plus 2 into 20 into 50 into cos 105 degree. Put the value in calculator. So we will get R is equal to under root of 2382.36. So R is equal to 48.81 kilonewton. And the alpha, that is tan inverse Q sin theta upon P plus Q cos theta. So alpha is equal to tan inverse 50 sin 105 upon 20 plus 50 cos 105. From the calculator we will get alpha is equal to tan inverse 48.296 upon 7.06. That is why alpha is equal to tan inverse 5.84. We will get alpha is equal to 81.68 degree with the P force. So from the parallelogram we will get the exact realistic problem for the two tensile forces which is acting on a point concurrently. Clear everybody? Hope so. You will get the whole idea about the parallelogram. Now, the same example that we can calculate with the help of triangle law of forces, but the just equations are different. For the triangle law of forces, we have equation that is R is equal to under root of p square plus q square minus 2 pq cos beta, and the equation of alpha that is sin inverse in the bracket q upon r sin beta. Clear? So, from that two equation we will get the resultant and direction for the triangle law. But whenever they are given, use triangle law, then and then you have to use triangle. Otherwise, the answer for the parallelogram and triangle both are same. Answer never be changed, but just procedure of calculation is just change. Clear everybody? Okay. Thank you very much.